What's up, family? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to OJ with Faith. we need to change that title. We'll just call it Orange Juice, because, yeah, that could be some bad publicity for me. Some people might just look at the title and be like, OJ with Faith? We can't have that now, can we? Anyways, I thought we'd have a last OJ. I've got two here. My favorites for you guys who are new. I love my OJs. Delicious, refreshing. They've stopped putting the 5 stars on them over here in Australia. Apparently, there's sugar quite a bit, even though it's natural sugar. Apparently, they're saying these are now 2.5 or 3 stars out of 5 or something like that. It's so controversial because they basically are saying sodas are healthier than OJ now or something like that, based on how much sugar or something like that. Allegedly, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, this is natural sugar. To me, if it's natural, it's satchel works. Saturated. Satchel. I wonder if that's the word. To saturate in full. Satchel. I don't know. But I thought, what better way to send off the place here than with an OJ. And yeah, just a little chatting with you guys and my favorite pillow. Actually, my only pillow. It's the only pillow I have. It's the only pillow I've had for a very long time. It's a special pillow, but it's my only pillow. So, still makes it even more special, I guess. But, how can something that tastes so good be bad for you anyways? I mean, come on. But guys, yeah, look, it's been nice. I mean, you've seen the title, and you guys know this day was coming. This moment was coming. I've known it's coming. I've been partly just wanting to live in a little bit of denial, only because I just didn't want to really face the reality. It's a pain in the butt, as you guys know, moving on the best of days. Taking on the challenge of deciding to move into a car. Yeah, that's even next level, especially now during the pandemic. It's even crazier. It's more stressful. It's a lot of thinking, strategic planning, and all that. But for me, I've embraced the reality of the situation, and come what may, I'm taking each day as it comes, a day at a time, and wherever that takes me, then that's where we will go. Now, I don't know what tomorrow has to hold. I do know, though, that there's potential for some exciting things, and exciting adventures, and possibly really big, cool things in the future. And maybe the very near future, which may or may not actually come to fruition. So I'm not going to say anything now. Plus, that would make me a really bad YouTuber if I spilled the beans on all these potential fantastic things. If I told you now, yeah, that would really not be great for my content and the element of surprise and clickbait titles and experiences like all the good YouTubers do so well. So we are going to keep you in suspense a little bit, but I will say I have some really exciting plans. I'm actually excited because I know there's some cool things potentially on the horizon, and I have some ideas, some things I'm going to do that's going to shock some of you, completely blow your mind. If you're not subscribed by now, you need to click that button, because I am going to do some incredible things that a lot of you won't see coming. And it's things that we haven't done on the channel yet, or on any of my channels. So that should be a clue to you that it's something new. I haven't done it. We're not talking about doing reaction videos or these things that you guys seen me do. We're talking about things you've never seen me do yet. I'm going to be adding them to the rotation of content across my channels. There's going to be some interesting things. The best thing you could do is just make sure you're subscribed. There's a list of channels. Yes, it's a long list, but it would ahoo you, I think that's how you say it, to make sure you're subscribed to all those channels, because you never know where I'm going to drop next, what I'm going to drop next, and I can tell you that I've got some dopeness coming. I mean, one of the things that I'm going to do, which I'm so excited for, I can tell you is really dangerous, but it's going to be awesome. Actually, a couple of things is dangerous that I'm going to be doing. Like, I'm talking real dangerous things that I could get injured from. Actually, in the past, I had been seriously injured with one of these things. That should be a hint for you guys who've watched every video I've ever done and listened to everything I've ever said. One of you would be able to guess and figure out what one thing I am going to bring back into my life in 2021, sometime within the next weeks and months. And oh my gosh, it is actually crazy that I'm even contemplating this after this particular thing, not having it in my life, about giving it away for a very long time now. Yeah, it could be a bad idea, but I'm going for it. I'm going for it. I am going to do some things. Okay, another hint. Some of you guys have figured this one out, so I'm going to be very cryptic as possible. Another thing we're going to do is something I really wanted to do, and a lot of you know I wanted to do, who know. If you follow everything that goes on the channel, you would know some things that are very on the high list of to-dos. Okay. And here's the thing. All of those things that were on that list of to-dos that I wanted to do but has not yet happened, all of them are going to happen. So there's a lot to look forward to. Am I getting you excited yet? Do I have your attention? I hope so. Because just because this chapter here is ending does not mean that the book is over. No, no, no. We're just starting the storytelling and just beginning a new chapter, new experience, new adventures, new challenges, and some old ones revisited. Old to me. To you guys, it'll all be new. I just missed a straw. You see that? That was really embarrassing. Can't sip without putting that in my mouth. So as you can see, I'm in high spirits. I'm not going to pretend like I'm not freaking out a little bit. I have done my freaking out about everything because, you know, there's a lot to freak out about. But we're just going to play it by ear, and you guys are going to come with me for the ride. And there's going to be cool things happening. That's all I could say. Things that if things were to stay as they are right now, I don't think would happen. The past year, one thing I noticed is I got into this routine where everything just stayed so consistently the same. There's nothing wrong with that, but I've always been one who is spontaneous in the moment. That's how I flow. That's how I live my life. I like to just be in the moment and just do what I want to do when I want to do it, how I want to do it, and just go with it, And I've become so complacently just in this same freaking no variation, just the nah. And maybe that's part of the reason why, I've ended up at this particular juncture, this crossroads, if you will, of change. Because it's necessary. How can you grow if you're just nah? I need to continue to evolve and to push myself and to take it to the limit every day. And it's my mantra. You guys know. Live each moment to the fullest and keep it off tap. Now, I have not really been doing a great job of that when I think about it. I mean, look, I do embrace every moment. I seize whatever that particular circumstance or situation is, whatever's going in that particular moment, and I make the best of it. But I could be doing more, I think, and I think where I went wrong, I think what happened is the pandemic hit. Gosh, can you believe it's a year ago now? It's been a year, guys. All the news started flowing in March. Well, it was flowing in a little bit before that, like in Feb and stuff, maybe even early January or late January. But officially, March is when things really started getting hectic and people were really starting to crank up the whole, news and just prevention, lockdowns, all stuff started really happening in March. So like that messed me up, and I'm sure it messed up a lot of you, but I think I took it to an extreme more than was characteristic to me. I think like in reality, I'm not one who still likes to limit myself, if you know what I mean. Like I became very over the top, lack of a better way, to explain it, but maybe a bit. Let's just say I allowed this pandemic to really just keep me locked in a box. And the thing that makes that worse, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, especially depending where you live in the world, but for me, in this country where I've been living, they've, thankfully it hasn't been as crazy as it could have been here. And everyone else around has been just pretty much just living life as nothing changed. For me, it changed drastically, and I let my whole having asthma and all that stuff become this huge anchor for me, where it kept me from wanting to leave the port because of fear of, and I listened to every newscast that came on from NBC News back in the States and all these ones, and everything they said, I took it to heart. Every single thing that you would hear, things like, don't go in elevators. There's chance of, the COVID spray lingering in elevators, blah, all this, everything they ever said across the whole time frame, from beginning to the end, I listened to, and I went, ooh, yeah, that's a good point. I better do that. So to this, moment, I've been one of the, matter of fact, the only person I've ever seen in this complex that I've been living in, the only person I've ever seen in this whole freaking town or city or anywhere. Once I seen maybe someone walk into a supermarket with a mask in this whole entire time, but I don't see it. I never see it, except when I go to Costco. The time I went to Costco, I did see early on I did see Costco people rocking masks. I've seen them rock the mask there. But other than that, I'm the only one rocking the mask, man. Which, I don't know, depending on your perspective, some may say that's smart, you're a genius, and some say you're stupid. You're in a country where they're not telling you to do it, so why are you doing it, you know? That's the main thing. Some states here are saying to do it if you go into supermarkets or on a train or something now, but they're not still making it a mandate, you know? I don't know. All I know is that I became trapped. I locked myself into prison. I've been in jail. Self-inflicted jail. And the crazy thing is, when the pandemic first started and I was still in the studio, for those first 4 months, because it was about February till June when I left the studio there, I was still just, I hadn't became this level of mental, because at that point in time I hadn't really, you know, it hadn't been driven into my brain as much, you know, from all the news and the media about the pandemic, as it become in over progression of being in here and then having everything delivered, you know, your groceries and stuff, and not having to leave. And the more you stay in this element, the more you become scared of the big bad world out there. Do you know what I mean? So before that, though, in the studio, I was still, I had, maybe because I had no choice, but I was going into the supermarket, I was going doing things. I wasn't even wearing a mask. I wasn't really even double thinking, and I was using public toilets. I was going to the gym, you know, if I wanted to go there, if I wanted to take a shower, I wanted to do whatever, work out, whatever. I wasn't even thinking about it. I just went there. I didn't get overly crazy about it until time progressed in here, and suddenly I became a shell of my former self. Now, again, argumentably, prevention is the best cure. Maybe some would say that was smart. You know, you're in a high risk group with the asthma and things. Maybe, you know, that's not a bad thing, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But then, you know, I don't know. I guess it's all about perception and your perspective on the whole situation. But all I know is that on any given day of your life, you can play by the rules. I actually heard, matter of fact, some people who caught corona and they apparently did everything right. They were locked. They don't even understand how they got it, because they did everything and they somehow still got it. In reality, in this planet, in this journey, there's a million different coronas. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not being literal saying a million different coronas, even though there probably is tons of different types of coronas. They have existed. These type of viruses have existed prior to this big one that's become the big thing, but we've had them, so, you know, different types of it over the years. But in reality, there's all kinds of things that could freaking knock you down for the count. You know what I'm saying? Man, how much time we've been talking? Is that? I might just pause this and do a fresh 29.59. You guys know how it gets. Just in case. Let me go and start that again. All right. Be back. Matter of fact, I'll just be back. I'm back. Is that an annoying sound? One down. One more to go. I love these, man. Gosh, I'm so addicted to OJ. Oh, that does not sound good again. OJ has ruined OJ for us forever. We can never say things like that again without it just sounding bad. Those first sips when you first pop the top make you not want to stop. But yeah, look, so there's anything can happen to you. You could walk across the street. You could get hit by a car, bit by a snake, bit by a spider, bit by a freaking crazy freaking vampire chick. Like, there's so many things that could happen. You could choke on a freaking marble or a strawberry. Don't put marbles in your mouth. I mean, many things can happen. Things out of your control. I mean, the other day, an airplane engine parts started falling from the sky. Now, imagine you could have just wrong place, wrong time, have a freaking propeller freaking pop you upside the head. You know what I'm saying? Dude, you could have spent a whole year worried about the corona when you should have been worried about a freaking turbine falling on your head. That's sad. It's not even meant to be funny, but it's a reality. My point is, anything could happen. Tons of people every single day have unexpected things happen that they could not control. That's not living. You know what I mean? You can't live fear. Plus, we don't know, dude. What? I heard on one news thing, they said it's going to be like 6 years before things get back to normal, really, with the pandemic and all this. Everyone, you hear different things, you know what I mean? They change it every day. But you don't know what's going to happen. They got all these new variations and variants and all this stuff. And like, what? Are we just supposed to continue for the rest of freaking 5-10 years living in fear and unable to live when there's no guarantee that we even have another moment on this planet every single day? I think ultimately the answer to that is no. You can't live that way. At some point, which I understand why some places have opened up and have started business as usual, because there's a strong argument towards that. Like, hey, you can't stay closed forever because, well, people's livelihoods and all kinds of things are affected by doing so. Okay? Like, life also must go on no matter what, because again, there's so much uncertainty of every second. You could spend the next freaking 10, 20 years, 5 years, 5 minutes, whatever, not living, and then suddenly something happens, and then you're not living, and then you've just not lived your last parts of your life. What is that? What is that? Plus, something they're not saying, and it's kind of annoying because I always feel like media has this, ulterior motive kind of thing. Like, I just feel like you always hear the negative, really bad things. Like, they paint this picture of gloom, but they leave out some bits and pieces that if you're a thinking person and you have even an incy-wincy bit of brainery, I made up brainery. It works. It sounds cool. But if you have even the slightest brain power working for you, 1.2% even, you don't even need a whole lot. They say we only use less than 11% of our brain. Look at this. It's been a year. There's been over 1 million people, or there's some huge number of deaths. I forgot the exact number, so don't quote me. But I know in the States there's been over 500,000 people who've died in the States alone. I think the worldwide figure might be over 1 million, or could be more, or something like that. It must be more if we've had 500,000 just in the States alone. But do the math on that, okay, guys? Because here's the thing that they also failed to mention. Now, tons and tons of people have had the virus. At this point in time, tons of people around the world has had Corona. Tons. This is the people that's actually been accounted for. Then there's tons of people who don't know they've had it, but had it. Like me, who I suspect I had it. If you guys watched that previous video, and I think I'm a long hauler at that, even because I just feel there's some lingering things, residuals. I've always suspected that. That's what I think. Because y'all remember, if you're new to the channel, you don't know, but those have been back in a minute. Check my previous videos, you guys know. I had weird things going on last year where it's like, man, I was suddenly just having dizzy things and throwing, like I had crazy weird stuff going on. So my point is, anyways, is that tons of people have had the virus. Tons of people have been reported to have it. Tons of people maybe had it. Then tons of people now, there's actually a huge number of people who are now starting to get the vaccine around the world. Realistically, no one really knows how close or far we are in certain areas of the world, in particular, from this herd immunity thing that they like to throw around that word when it's convenient and suits their agenda. But a lot of people are probably not as in risk of catching this as they might have been last year this time. Simply because the numbers game. Do you know what I mean? At some point, there has to be so many people that have had this and caught it and have, recovered from it, or didn't even really bother them. A lot of people, it's just like that was it. That was the corona. Those people. Some people get really bad from it, and some lucky ones don't. It's like, didn't even know I had it, those kind of people. So I haven't really heard much talk about it, but surely there's definitely got to be places around the world where after a year of so many people catching this thing, that there'd be pockets where there is some sort of, herd immunity or something. You would think, right? Makes logical sense. If you think about it. You can't have over 500,000 people or over 1 million people or something die from this and catch this without it hadn't been gone through, a bunch of people in contact to get to that number. Do you know what I'm saying? So my point is that mixed with the vaccine that's been starting to really get out there everywhere. There has to be a certain amount of, even though I know there's risk and I know that it still can be dangerous, and I know there's these other strains and all this and stuff like that. But in reality, I think the people who are going to get sick are going to get sick if they are in contact with it, and the people who aren't. And that's just a reality. And again, I use what I said earlier, and the people who are going to get hit by a car or all these other things that can happen, or people who catch just the normal flu, not any pandemical flu, but just the normal flu, the people who get super sick and the people who end up getting hospitalized or worse from the flu, all kinds of things. Prince. Y'all remember Prince? Prince wasn't he only 50 something, 54 maybe or something like that, when he just caught some type of flu or something? He died from some sort of flu, cold thing, pneumonia or something, man. Like, people who are susceptible to these things, it can happen from anything, really, not just only this. You could have a bad reaction to peanuts. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't know. So I don't know about you guys, but me personally, I'm kind of tired of living in fear, man. Do you know what I mean? I'm kind of tired of living in this, oh, this might happen, or thinking the worst type of mentality. You know, I want to start living again. Do you know? Of course, I'm still going to take precautions. I'm not going to be a complete idiot personally myself, but I'm going to kind of dial back the self-inflicted lockdown that I put myself under for this past year. I'm dialing that back because I think everything happens for a reason. And for me, I think one of the reasons that I am, again, in the situation I'm in is just partly because I need it. I need to just get out again and do stuff and to experience things and to, you know, have new adventures and new journeys and not be sitting in that freaking chair every single day for the majority of my day. And look, it's by choice, but it's my job and that's what I have to do. But I can still do my job like I was doing before, where I'd be filming out somewhere, you know, and be outside and about in fresh air and just doing stuff. That excites me. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to actually being able to have some content out in these really beautiful places again. Do you know what I mean? I'm looking forward to those adventures. I'm looking forward to being active and doing stuff. I miss it. I miss it. There's so many things I miss. I miss my bowling. Gosh, I miss my bowling so much. If you guys don't know, who are new here, I'm a really good bowler. Okay? Really good. It's one of the big things for me. It's one of my sports, you know. I haven't touched a bowling ball in a long time now. So you always see me one time today. I don't have my bowling shirt on with my sponsors and things. I don't have it on. One time, but start talking about bowling. This is kind of a modified bowling shirt. This is part of my range, by the way. My own merch, I'm talking about clothing line, not even merch, but real clothing line. This is my own clothing line, not merchandise stuff. This is actual manufactured from my own. This is 100%. You know, I mean, this is my thing, if y'all don't know. Another video, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to all that's going to potentially come, because I see great things on the horizon, and I'm looking forward to taking you guys there with me. So this video here, it's kind of like a podcast, I think. Maybe I will kind of, I don't know if I'll call it a podcast, because I don't know. I want you guys to watch it. If I say podcast, some people won't watch it maybe, but I don't know. This is the last video that'll be filmed in here. The next video you see will be somewhere else. I don't know if it's going to be in a car by a freaking river, ocean, up in a mountain, by a tree. I don't know. But it won't be here. It won't be here. And that excites me. Even though it also, you know, it's bittersweet. It's, you know, because I'm the kind of person that is able to, I think I'm pretty much able to make anywhere feel like home. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of my thing. Home is where the heart is, but I'm able to really be in the moment wherever I am. So this has become my home. And yeah, it's not something I really didn't want to have to move out of here, really. I mean, there's things I didn't like, but overall, this has become my home, when somewhere's your home and it becomes your home, you just get used to it, and that's the way it is. So, yeah, it's going to be, the craziest thing, I'm going to share you guys something funny, which, again, some of you guys might call me crazy for this, but before you do, hear me out. I used to live in Japan, and keep that in your mind when I tell you this, okay? There's a perfectly good queen-size bed over there. I have slept in it 0 times. Never been in it. Never laid on the bed. Never sat on the bed even. And that's because, for you guys who don't know, new people here don't know, people who know, but I don't have a washer here. I've got a dryer. I don't have a washer. So I've got a sink that I have hand washed all my clothes since day one. I hand wash every single clothes all the time in my sink. Then I toss in the dryer. Well, all of that quilts and those big quilts and these big freaking pillows and things that are over there, which I may get a video on before I leave out here, because that was already here. This place was, pre-furnished, which also made it difficult. I had to bring my computer desk and things and try to situate things. I've got 2 sets of wheels in here, and because I don't have, this is the only space I have, so everything is here and under beds, and that's how it's, that's how it was the whole time. But I never ever got on that freaking bed because I could not wash the linen. And this place, when I first moved into here, they had said someone else was here for a week or something, then they had moved out or whatever or something. But this place was never cleaned properly after that person moved out. There was like spilled drink and things on the bed stand thing, lamp, whatever they call, the bed freaking, gosh, I can't even think, cabinet thing. What's the name of it? I've gone blank, but y'all know. Nightstand, that's what it is. There was mildew and stuff on the freaking ceiling in the bathroom up and by the shower, like mold, that kind of stuff. Black mold was all over the top of the thing there. There was mold on all the curtains on the tops and stuff, and over there, like, it was filthy, dude. The bed, I saw little things that no one should see on a bed, and I was like, hell no, I ain't getting in that bed. Especially, again, because I couldn't wash any of the linen as well. It wasn't clean. None of this has been clean, man. Nothing. The place was filthy. Filthy. So much dust came out the carpets and stuff for so long. Like, I'm talking tons of dust, guys. So much dust would come out of the floors from when the computer fans is running. The computer fans sucking it in to the point where the computers would just be loaded with dust all the time. And remember I told you guys there's always dust in here magically appearing. No matter how many times I wipe it up, dust would magically appear and cover things. I figured it out. It's ground into the carpets and stuff mainly. The computer fans and stuff blowing it up, or when you vacuum, you're pushing stuff or things. I think it's coming from places like that. Potentially probably been the vents. I don't know, but filthy, guys. And I always notice like my breathing here has not been the best. But again, see, I'm not sure if that's from dust and things. I'm pretty sure it would be dust and the mold and yuckiness that's just been here. But it also could be, again, because I do believe I'm outside. I already have asthma, as you guys know, but that long hauler corona thing, I think somehow my breathing isn't on par. But I do notice on the flip side, I think when I'm not in here, I think I breathe better. That's what I'm looking forward to. I think once I'm out of here and I'm around fresh air and stuff a lot more, I'm suspecting it's going to be a lot better for my breathing and things as well. That's the going theory. How much time? Jeez, time is flying, guys. I'll be back in a second. Gotta reset that 29.59. All right. Oh, jeez. Need a remote. Or a camera that doesn't require me to have to physically reset it for 29.59, you know? Intervals. I can't even speak right now. Intervals. Jeez. It's been stressful. I'm not gonna pretend like it hasn't been, but it has been stressful. Yes, it has been very stressful. But bigger and better things, as they say. Bigger and better things. We're almost sipped out of this. I think when I completely empty that, that's the cue to end the video. Good thing I didn't bring 3 boxes like I was going to. It's been a 2-hour video. But we've had some good moments here. We've grown the channel a lot being here. We've had a lot of, really just good things, good experiences, good vibes here. But more to come, like I said, there's going to be a chapter of new and exciting, cool things. And I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to it, because there's this other side of me that a lot of you guys have no idea about. Okay? Like, you might have heard me say some of the things from time to time, but you ain't seen it. So, and someone's going to be really challenging for me, because definitely a bit out of shape. One thing you guys don't see me do, which I love doing, and man, like, I freaking regularly, pretty much every day, I'll spend a little bit of time, not a lot of time, but a little bit of time just freaking, doing some boxing and things, and, a few kicks and a few things, getting my martial arts, keeping that in check, keeping my boxing in check and things. And, I don't know, almost prepping for a fight that I don't know if ever happened. If you guys watch some of my old videos, particularly I think on my Faith Chase channel, I literally did call out people. I wanted to actually have a boxing match with someone, anyone, on YouTube, but yeah, haven't had my break yet. But it may happen. I don't know. In case it does, I'm ready. So I don't know. Some MMA or something with somebody would be fun. So I'm keeping in shape and I'm ready. That's the one thing. This is a thing. The car, like, see, there's certain things that I gotta explain. There's certain things that will happen that makes me, in the spur of the moment, start freaking, shadow boxing or running into place or doing some dance moves or something. Like, I may have some music playing in the background or a show or something, movie or whatever, and then some cool beat or song will come on, or some like inspiring like Rocky style song will start, and I'll suddenly just start like get up out of the chair from editing there, and I'll get up and I'll be like I'll start freaking like just suddenly boxing or jumping up and down doing all this stuff. Like it's you can do that stuff when you're in private in your house and things. You do all kinds of crazy things that it's not really crazy. It was just kind of random. Like, imagine I'm just sitting there working and suddenly and then I suddenly get up and I'm starting doing that kind of stuff. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I mean, I guess outside, depending where I'm parked. I mean, look, I'm not one to really care what people think about me anyways, so but yeah, some people are going to be driving and by someday and suddenly see me out there just We're like, what the freak's going on over there? But yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm gonna miss about being in your own close quarters. You can do crazy things, and I'm not gonna deny it. One thing I love doing, I just love being in the naked. You know, like the freedom of being naked, like in your own place, walking around naked is so comfortable. It's cozy. You know, it's freeing, like to feel like you don't have to have clothes on all the time. You know, like I like not having clothes on. What, am I the only one? Like in relationships in the past that I've had, I know there's been times where we just walk around naked. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that, you know. I mean, I'm not a nudist or anything. Like, I don't want to go to a nudist beach or anything and be out naked in the nudist beach somewhere. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. To each their own, you know. For starters, I just don't need to work on my tan. I can't think of any good reason why I need to be outside in the sun without any protective clothes on. But, you know, like when I'm inside the house in my own privacy, in my own space, like it's fun to just be comfortable, you know. For me, comfort is not having anything on and enjoying the fan and things hit your skin, and it's great, you know. You know, you come out the shower, and especially when you come out the shower and you let the wind hit you from the fan with the water on your body. Oh, that feels so like, ooh, such a good feeling. Come on, let me know in the comments below if anyone else enjoys freaking the sensation of just being in your own skin. I mean, look, if we want to be real about it, Eve is the one who messed it up for us anyways, okay? Eve and Adam, they freaking messed up the game for us because up until that point in time, according to the scriptures, we all were naked anyways. They only started putting clothes on because they were in shame. You know? So back in the day, everyone was already naked. We all could imagine today we have a world where everyone was walking around naked. Yeah. I could see how that would not be a good world because... yeah, no offense, but yeah, there's probably people I don't want to see naked. Yeah, I didn't get that thought out of my head now because that's not making me feel good. No, definitely not. But everyone's beautiful in their own special way, and if you want to rock it, you go rock it. That's all I'm saying. Just be careful where you rock it because some places might not be a good idea. But I don't know. It's been nice. It's been nice. It's been a journey. And it's the end of the journey. So I want to thank you guys for coming with me. And I love each and every one of you. And as always, remember to live each moment to the fullest. And to keep it off tap, last sip. Thank you for having a drink with me. And thank you for the memories in this special space. And get ready for 2.0. Chapter 2.0. The next chapter, I don't know. Just get ready for good things to come. All right. I love you. We're out.